hello, and welcome to another edition of Washington Talks. I'm your host, Ron King, and we are pleased to have in the studio today as our guest one of the owners of the famous Shorty's Lunch and Hot Dogs in Washington, PA, Steve Alexis. Steve, welcome to the program, buddy.
Well, it's nice to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Okay, thank you. Steve, I know Shorty's had been in business for over 75 years, starting back in the 20s. But tell me, Steve, was there really ever a guy by the name of Shorty?
Yes, the original owner to start it was Shorty Conarakis.
Okay, and was he really short?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm not sure just how short he was, but I think he was a little over
I did
5
a
foot.
little research, and I heard that he was like about 5 feet 4 inches tall. Does that seem about right?
Yeah, that definitely seems about right.
Okay. Our producer here is about that size, and she doesn't think that's short at all.
No.
Steve, I've heard that your family, the Alexis family, of course, got involved with Shorty's when your grandfather became a partner with Shorty way back when. Is this correct? And if so, what was your grandfather's name?
Grandfather was Pete, and yeah, he bought part of the business off of Shorty.
Pete Alexis, right?
Yes, Pete Alexis, and that would have been in the earlier 30s.
Oh, okay. So the Conarakis had it. Then eventually your grandfather got in and became a partner with Shorty, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Steve, you've told me that your grandfather's son, George, who of course was your father, started working at Shorty's at a very young age. How old was your dad when he started working at Shorty's?
He was approximately 10 years old.
10 years old?
Yeah.
They must have had, maybe they didn't have work laws back then, huh?
No, not really.
Did he finish school, or did he just quit school and start working at Shorty's, do you know?
No, he graduated from Wash High.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, also when he was young, he actually did Greek school at night.
Greek school?
Yeah, they actually in Washington.
So the Conarakises and the Alexis and anybody else that has a name that ends in IS pretty much. Kukalakis, Maramus, and on and on and on.
Yeah, that was one of them.
Okay. When did your dad quit working?
He worked up pretty much until the time when he just couldn't do it anymore, probably about a month or so before he passed away.
And how old was he when he passed away?
He was turning...
Was he in his 80s?
Yes. Yes.
Around 82, 84, something like that?
Yeah. Well, around 82, it'll be 5 years coming up here pretty soon.
Okay, so then your dad worked almost constantly from the time he was 10 years old in Shorty's until just prior to his passing.
Yes, yes. Except for a little trip to Korea. We got a little time off.
Did he join the service, or was he drafted?
He joined the Air Force.
Joined the Air Force?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's great. Steve, without a doubt, most of the people who have known and loved Shorty's over the years would say that your father, George Alexis, was the real heart and soul of Shorty's. You probably agree with that, don't you?
Yeah, I believe so. I definitely believe so.
All those years that he put in. I know when I went to Wash High and was growing up in Washington, I'd go in and I'd see your father in there. Your father had a droll sense of humor. He didn't seem to smile, but when he said something funny, it was almost doubly funny, because he'd just say something funny and he would hardly bring a smile when he did it. He was a great guy. Okay, for those of you who have never been to the famous Shorty's Hot Dogs in Washington, PA, we recently shot a short video to show you what Shorty's looks like inside. And on this video, you'll get to see a couple of black and white pictures of the late George Alexis. So would you roll that clip now, please? Hi, Ron King here, and I'm standing in downtown Washington, PA at Shorty's Hot Dog Shop. They've been in existence here in the same location for over 75 years. If you've never been to Shorty's, you don't know what you're missing. French fries and gravy, and 1 or 2 or 3 with everything. If you haven't been to Shorty's before, come with me now. We'll take a little look inside and see what it looks like in there. Hasn't changed much in over 50 years. Our little mini tour of Shorty's in downtown Washington, PA. And now, back to the studio. Okay, we are back in the studio talking to Steve Alexis from the famous Shorty's Hot Dogs in Washington, PA. And now, Steve, the big question. Folks, slide to the front of your seat. Steve, would you please tell me and our viewers the recipe for the delicious chili that goes on your hot dogs?
I wish I could, but I'm kind of under oath that I'm not.
Under oath?
Yeah, I've been
did
sworn.
Your father, when you were a young man, did your father show up with the Bible and make you raise your right hand and under penalty of death, I will never give away the recipe?
No, because I wasn't even allowed to know it when I was young.
Seriously? Your dad did not share the recipe with you when you were young?
No, he taught it to me later down the road.
But do you think that your dad thought you might have told your buddies or something?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it was just when we got more serious about being in the business and being there, and then that was one of the things.
At what point growing up, did you think, say when you were in high school, that I'm going to take over the business? Did you believe that then, or did you think, well, let maybe my brother handle it and I'm going to go do something else? How was it?
I actually did a little bit of college, and it really wasn't me. And
Sure.
I'd already been working at the store since I was a little younger. So instead of part-time, became full-time. And
were you still working there when your father passed away?
oh yeah.
Oh, okay. So you had committed to the business by then.
Yeah, I was about probably 19 or 20 when I was working full-time, but I worked summers.
Okay.
Summers, weekends.
Hey, back to that chili sauce. I don't want to get too far away from that. Do you make that delicious chili sauce on the premises, Steve?
Yeah, I make it uptown almost every day.
Almost every day?
Yeah.
You make it in big pots or a little bit of a time?
One big pot.
One big pot?
One big pot.
Like how big is the pot?
Probably, when it's done, probably over 5 gallons worth.
So you're making jailhouse portions or something like that?
Okay. Well, part of that reason is, like I said, what we use uptown, and I make it for Wolfdale also.
Okay. Now, you make the chili for yourself, so you're not going to give us the recipe. So can folks come in and maybe just buy the chili sauce and take it home and put on their own hot dogs if they want to, Steve?
Yes. We sell it by the pint.
Oh, by the pint?
Yeah.
What do you have any idea, what's the largest quantity of chili sauce you ever sold at one time?
That'd have been definitely probably in 8 gallons or more.
What, somebody was having a big picnic or a blowout or something and they wanted it?
Well, some have been big events. Sometimes we've had people in the past that have come back to town once a year. And will let me know ahead of time, and I'll have enough made for them. And
okay.
They freeze it, dry ice it, take it back, and then ration it out for the next 65 days until they call again.
Yeah. If folks wanted you to mail the chili sauce to them, do you do that now? Did you ever do it?
We tried, and with the shipping, just got to be a little crazy and knowing whether it's going to be there. A lot of special trips to get everything you needed to ship it.
Yes. Probably got to the point where it was more trouble than it was worth, huh?
Yeah, it become easier to tell them if you still have family, call one of them. We'll have it, and they can go ahead and ship it to them.
I know. Every Labor Day, the Washington Christian Outreach has a 5K run, and this gentleman is good enough to donate some chili sauce to us, and after the runners come in, we give them free hot dogs with the shorties. Shorty, that's the French pronunciation of shorties, right?
Well, that used to be a little bit of a running joke on back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We had a lot of the attorneys that come in.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they would tell one of their constituents.
Yes.
They were coming in from Pittsburgh and never been down.
Oh, we're going to take them to
They were going to take
Shorty's
them to lunch. They got lunch at Shorty's.
Yeah,
And,
the famous French restaurant.
Yeah, it got so bad that we knew the look when they came through the door that like, oh, there's somebody else that just got a hat. But most of the time we found out was because they'd be back a month or two later and they would stop in on their own and tell us what the friend did. And,
Oh, okay.
so,
Steve, I've heard that the Coke company, Coca-Cola, has the recipe for Coke hidden under lock and key in a huge safe somewhere in Atlanta, Georgia. Do you have the recipe for your famous chili sauce under lock and key someplace? And if so, where?
well, it's locked up here. It's more of a half-empty filing cabinet. Yeah, that's
Okay.
where we keep it.
I assume your brother who runs the second Shorty's in Wolfdale, he has the recipe too.
Oh yeah, he knows how to make it, but
Uh-huh.
he's getting a little older. I might be the only.
If he goes see now,
Yeah.
you might have the whole recipe
I
at
got
all.
I got the lock.
Steve, when the regular customers come into Shorty's, they'll say, "Hey, give me 2 with everything." For the people who have never been to Shorty's, tell them, what does 2 with everything mean?
Mustard, chili, and onions.
Mustard, chili, and onions.
Yeah.
Before the show, you and I had this little discussion, and I'm not sure it's true. Maybe some of you folks out there who are a lot older than me may remember, but I think possibly the original everything combination was ketchup, mustard, chili, and onions. But you can't take that to the bank, folks. Steve, a person can get French fries at just about any fast food restaurant around, obviously, but at Shorty's, French fries with your gravy on top is definitely the staple. How do you think French fries with the gravy got started at Shorty's?
I would have to say that way back in the day when they had more of a menu because they were open 24 hours.
Right.
That I think that the gravy started getting added to the fries because of the other dinners they had.
Well, you had the hot roast beef sandwiches, right?
Yeah, which we still do, but there's no mashed potatoes or anything like that anymore. It's just fries. So I think that's how the gravy started to get put on the fries.
Uh-huh.
And since I was young, it's probably more than quadrupled the amount of people to get the gravy on the fries.
Really?
Just from that.
I guess definitely more people get fries with gravy than just plain fries, right?
Yeah. And before it was probably 1 fry with gravy to every 3 were plain.
Uh-huh.
Now it's at least 3 got gravy, if not.
So somehow French fries with gravy, which just about anybody could do at home, but it's become just another staple. When people come in, they usually get themselves a couple of dogs and the fries with gravy too, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Steve, the hot dogs absolutely are delicious. Who makes your hot dogs for you? Do you have them made locally?
Yeah, Taylorstown. It's called Green Valley Packing.
Okay.
We're also known as Alberts.
Yeah, Albert's is the brand that they put on their hot dogs that they sell, say, in the Giant Eagle or something, right?
Yes. Yes.
Now, the hot dogs in the Giant Eagle, they're not exactly the same as the hot dogs you buy to put on your grill from Green Valley, are they?
No, not at all.
Why do you come up with a different mixture?
What happens is this way ours can take the heat longer and not burn up. So there's got to be like some less sugar and different things. I mean, actually, I don't know what their recipe is, but the recipe is just for us, and it needs tweaked. We tell them, they know what to tweak it a little bit.
Right.
And that way they can handle the heat and not just scorch up and turn black.
I have read that if you put too much dextrose sugar into a hot dog and get it too hot, it'll turn black on you. And conversely, if you put a little too much corn filler in there, it might start breaking up on you. So that's probably, well, they're making that for that grill to tolerate that.
Yes. Yeah,
and that grill of yours, that is so proprietary. You have the same grill in your shop that you probably, maybe that's the same grill that Shorty installed. Do you think it might be?
Yeah, it's either the one he put in, or I might have been there when he took over the place too.
When I was a young boy, I used to look in that window past the knee-high beverages that you had sitting up on the railing inside the windows, and you could see that grill there with that flat top on it, and you're still frying hot dogs on that same grill today. But I would imagine, after all that heat, you probably put a couple tops on there since I was a boy.
Yeah, we're on the third top.
Third top?
Third top on it now.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually pretty much able to date the grill at 1910.
Okay. Steve, Shorty's still looks pretty much the same today as it did when I was a little kid. We talked about the grill being the same, but changed a little bit. Now, your lunch counter and the booths, are they the same as they were way back when?
Yeah, yes, we're kind of not allowed to change anything. Nobody wants to see any of the change. So
yeah, it's kind of like a museum in a way, is it not?
Spend a lot more time repairing things and trying to keep things from falling apart.
I would imagine, I would guess, that it's harder to keep things looking like they always have been. Then it's more expensive to do that than it would be to go out and buy new. It'd probably be easier and cheaper to buy new, wouldn't it?
There have been plenty of times that it have been a lot easier to just buy new and a lot less difficult.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing you don't have like running engines or what have you. Finding parts, if you had some moving parts in those booths, it'd be impossible to find parts. You'd be paying hundreds of dollars to some local machine shop to make you stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Steve, I know that people who used to live in Shorty's or go to school in Washington, they love to come back to Shorty's when they visit town. Why do you think that is?
Just the simple fact when we just went over things, we haven't changed things. It's what they remembered growing up. We've heard pretty much all the stories. When I was a kid, well, lunchtime I used to leave school for lunch. And
the guys that went down to IC, they could maybe they could make a break for it and get back to school pretty quick, huh?
Yeah, in fact, I know some of the kids that graduated IC and went on, and they still come in, and now there's not as many grades there.
Yes,
but yeah, well, Wash High too. They broke for lunch, but.
Steve, we touched on the fact that there is another Shorty's down in Wolfdale, and your brother operates that one. What's your brother's name?
John.
John, okay. And John and you are partners in both Shorty's, is that correct?
Yes, it's all one.
Is the menu and the hot dogs and everything the same down at Wolfdale as they are up in uptown Washington?
Yeah, they have everything we have, and it's all the same. And they have a few more items because of their open evening hours too, so it cater a little bit more toward dinner.
A few more menu items, huh?
Yeah, not too many, but just a few.
Just a few. I suppose by keeping the menu items down, you guys invented fast food before the term fast food was ever invented, right? I mean, you guys were serving fast food way back when.
Yeah, I think we're pretty quick, especially like I said, without having difficult.
Yeah,
difficult
and if you were
something.
serving pheasant under glass, it might take a little longer to get it out to the customer, right?
Just a little bit.
Folks, if you'd like to know more about the famous Shorty's Lunch and Hot Dogs in Washington, they are so famous that they now have their own Wikipedia page. So we invite you to check that out. Well, Steve, I see our time is just about up for this edition of Washington Talks. Thank you very much for dropping in on us today.
No problem.
Okay.
Pleasure.
Hey, it was fun. I enjoyed talking about Shorty's. I know our viewing audience will enjoy the program too. And so then, on behalf of Steve Alexis from the famous Shorty's Hot Dogs in Washington, PA, this is Ron King saying so long till we catch you next time on Washington Talks.